Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're hitting a topic that I think pretty much everyone finds appealing. It's the desire we all have to, really speed up how our brains work.
Yeah, to boost cognitive function.
Focus harder, learn things faster, just generally make our brains, well, smarter.
It's a massive area of interest right now, isn't it?
Totally.
Especially with, well, the explosion of these nootropics or smart drugs you see everywhere.
Yeah, they're flooding the market.
They really are, and the promise is always so tempting, right? A simple fix for better performance.
But it's complicated.
It is. The reality is often confusing, sometimes unregulated, and potentially even risky.
Exactly. So our mission today feels pretty important. We're going to dive deep past those synthetic quick fixes. We want to focus completely on the natural stuff, substances that science actually shows can enhance things.
But without the nasty side effects?
Right, focusing on safety and, long-term benefits.
Makes sense.
But first, let's just lay the groundwork. What exactly is a nootropic supposed to do at its core?
Okay, fundamentally, we can break it down into maybe three main jobs.
Right.
First, they need to stimulate learning and memory, especially your ability to soak up new info and improve that short-term recall.
Okay, learning and memory. Got it.
Second, they have to help you sustain learned behaviors, habits, even when things get tough.
Like under high pressure or stress.
Exactly. Or lack of sleep, keeping you on track.
The ultimate stress shield, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. And the third thing, which people often forget, is protection.
Protection.
Yeah, they must protect the brain itself, the neural infrastructure, from, say, chemical or physical damage. If it doesn't do all three, and safely, well, it's probably just a stimulant, not a true nootropic. So when we talk about safe nootropics, the criteria are actually surprisingly strict, much more so than for many psychiatric meds.
Really?
Stricter, yeah. A truly healthy, safe substance needs to meet 4 conditions. No compromises.
Okay, what are they?
1, it absolutely cannot modify the electroencephalogram, the EEG.
Which is basically the brain's electrical rhythm, right? We don't want to mess that up.
Precisely. We're aiming to optimize, not jolt the system.
Makes sense.
2, it has to be able to cross the blood-brain barrier. It needs to actually get to where it needs to go in the brain.
Right. Obvious, but crucial.
3, 0 secondary or adverse effects. Unlike many other drugs.
0 side effects. That's a high bar.
It is. And 4, it needs to genuinely increase the brain's metabolism and the sort of functional speed, how fast it works.
Okay, that last point, increasing function and speed.
Yeah.
That takes us right to the core idea here, doesn't it? Neuronal plasticity. You hear this term a lot.
You do. And it's not just jargon. It's everything.
A foundation for better thinking.
It's the absolute foundation for better performance, better reasoning. It's how intelligence actually works.
Explain that a bit more. How does it work?
Well, when you truly learn something new, your brain doesn't just store it temporarily.
Well,
No, the neural networks themselves physically change shape. They rewire. They modify the actual pathways you use, permanently altering how you process that information. It's a structural change.
So it literally changes your brain's structure. Like the example of knowing sugar is unhealthy.
That's a great analogy, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you really know that, deep down, your neural networks have shifted.
So even if I eat the donut.
Right. Even if you give in, you still know it was a bad choice on some fundamental level. That pathway has changed.
The permanent change makes the brain more capable overall.
Exactly. And all this rewiring, this constant change, it takes a massive amount of energy.
Which leads to the brain being the biggest energy consumer in the body.
Right. By far. And you know that old myth about only using 10% of our brain?
Yeah, heard it forever. What's the real deal?
Well, our sources suggest it's not really about untapped potential intelligence.
So
it's more likely about energy or oxygen limits. We often only use maybe 10% at the same time, because we lack the metabolic juice to power up more areas simultaneously.
So energy's the bottleneck. We're just running on low power most of the time.
Kind of like that, yeah. Operating on cruise control.
Okay.
So it follows that any substance, natural or synthetic, that can safely give the brain more energy.
It'll likely improve thinking, memory, learning speed.
Almost instantly, yeah. You'll see a positive effect because you're removing that energy bottleneck.
Okay, so to really get why these natural pathways are so interesting, maybe we should quickly touch on the big synthetic ones first, just for context.
Good idea. Modafinil is probably the most famous one.
Yeah, you hear about it constantly in, tech and startup scenes.
It's everywhere, and it's fascinating stuff. Its main action is sort of two-parting.
Okay.
It drastically cuts down fatigue, so you basically don't feel how tired you are.
Right.
And it boosts dopamine in the brain, which helps you sustain effort and motivation for way longer.
Keeps you going.
And importantly, it also ramps up acetylcholine. That's the key neurotransmitter for memory and how fast you learn.
Acetylcholine, right. And didn't the research show something kind of weird about IQ?
Yeah, that's a really interesting detail. It seems to work much better as a smart drug for people with a lower starting IQ.
Huh. Why is that?
If you're already operating at a very high cognitive level, the effects are less pronounced. Your baseline is already optimized, perhaps.
Interesting. And it was originally for narcolepsy, wasn't it?
Exactly. Developed to treat sleep disorders.
And there are others too, right? Like Ritalin?
Methylphenidate, Ritalin,
Well,
used since the 60s for narcolepsy and ADHD.
okay.
Then you have amphetamines, historically used as psychostimulants, and things called empacans.
Ampicans.
Yeah, they speed up neurotransmitter release. They've been explored for early Alzheimer's to try and, slow down memory loss.
So, okay, these synthetics clearly work. They speed up learning, help memory, boost that plasticity we talked about.
They absolutely do. But there's a catch, often.
The side effects.
The side effects, the jitters, the sleeplessness, and potential long-term questions. The cost-benefit isn't always clear.
Right.
They tend to force the system into overdrive, which can deplete the very resources, the raw materials your brain needs to function smoothly over time.
Like burning the candle at both ends.
Kind of, yeah. So if the goal is safe, sustainable, long-term improvement that actually changes your brain's architecture for the better.
Then we need to look beyond the quick fixes.
Exactly. We need to pivot to the natural supplements that support the system, build it up, rather than just pushing it harder.
All right, let's dive into the natural toolkit then. Starting with one people definitely know, ginkgo biloba.
Ah, yes, ginkgo, a real symbol of longevity from traditional Chinese medicine, TCM.
And the data looks promising.
Quite promising. Some studies suggest it might even help produce new neurons.
Wow, neurogenesis. Okay. How do you use it effectively?
Well, the key thing here is the dosing strategy depends on the goal.
How so?
If you've got a specific short-term need, like a big exam coming up or a critical presentation.
Intense focus needed now.
Right. Then you'd use a higher dose, maybe 120 to 240 milligrams, taken about 1 to 4 hours before the event.
Optimized for that immediate short-term memory boost.
Exactly. But if you're thinking more long-term, prevention, keeping sharp as you age.
Just daily maintenance.
Then the dose is much lower, maybe 40 to 120 milligrams daily.
And the goal there is different.
Yeah. It's aimed at preventing that gradual cognitive decline, reducing dementia risk over time. So performance dose versus prevention dose. Important distinction for listeners.
Got it. Okay, moving on. How about Danchin? Or DSS, another one from TCM.
Yes, Danchin. This one ties back to that energy bottleneck we discussed.
Oh, yeah?
It stimulates something called angiogenesis.
Angiogenesis?
The formation of new blood vessels in the brain.
Ah. Why is that so important?
Because if blood flow is restricted, you're literally limiting which parts of your brain cortex can get enough oxygen and energy to fire up.
So Danchin helps build more, like, mental highways to get energy where it needs to go.
That's a great way to put it. Better plumbing. Better reach for the brain's metabolism.
Makes sense.
Plus, Danchin is also a potent antioxidant. It helps protect against the kind of damage you see in Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, and it can even help recovery after something like a stroke.
Interesting. Okay, now the one that seems to be everywhere lately. Lion's mane mushroom.
Ah, lion's mane. Definitely getting a lot of attention.
It's supposed to be packed with good stuff, right? Beta-glucans, arenaceous,
Yeah.
compounds like that.
Exactly. Neuroprotective compounds. And what makes lion's mane really stand out is, well, it's kind of a triple threat.
Okay.
It stimulates cognition, it helps form new neurons like ginkgo, and it can actually help nerves grow back after damage.
Oh, regeneration, wow.
But maybe the most exciting part, connecting back to speed, is its effect on myelination.
Myelination. That's the coating around the nerves, the insulation?
Precisely. Think of your neurons as wires. Myelin is the rubber coating.
Okay.
The thicker and healthier that myelin sheath, the faster the electrical signal travels down the nerve.
So lion's mane literally speeds up communication in the brain.
By improving that insulation, yes. It fundamentally boosts processing speed and enhances that neuronal plasticity we keep mentioning.
That's a huge deal. We're not just adding fuel, we're upgrading the wiring.
That's a good way to think about it.
And practically, people use it for anxiety, stress, inflammation protection.
And even in cases of early dementia, the dosage is quite broad, maybe 750 milligrams up to 3 grams a day, depending on what you're targeting.
Okay, what else is in the toolkit?
We should definitely mention maca.
Maca. Isn't that mostly known for stamina, energy, sexual function?
It is, but don't overlook its brain effects. A dose of about 1 to 3 grams can reliably improve memory and learning capacity.
Oh, back to energy again.
Pure energy for the brain, yes. And an interesting bonus, if you take it while fasting.
Yeah.
It seems to accelerate autophagy.
The cellular cleanup crew.
Exactly. Recycling old, damaged bits of cells. This helps keep your neurons healthier for longer.
Keeping the brain tidy. I like it. Okay, one more key player. Bacopa. Big in Ayurveda, right?
Yes, Bacopa monnieri, very important plant in Ayurvedic tradition.
That's its specialty.
Bacopa offers very targeted protection. It seems to especially safeguard neurons in specific, really important brain zones.
Which zones?
The prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, and the striatum.
Okay, translate that for us. Why are those areas critical for someone listening?
Well, the hippocampus is like your brain's librarian for recent memories, converting them to long-term storage.
Okay, memory consolidation.
The prefrontal cortex is your executive suite complex behavior, decision-making, planning.
Right, higher functions.
And the striatum is heavily involved in habits, motivation, and reward circuits.
So Bacopa is good if you're focused less on just raw performance and more on behavior, or maybe protecting the brain long term.
Exactly. If you want to modify behavior, strengthen good habits, or maybe minimize potential future damage, say, after past recreational drug use, Bacopa is a really smart choice because it shields those critical high-function areas. Okay, so we've covered some key natural nootropics, but now we need to talk about acceleration, how to make them work even better.
Amplifying the effects.
Exactly. By making sure the brain has all the essential supporting nutrients it needs. These aren't exotic supplements, they're the fundamental building blocks.
The raw materials for good brain function, like co-pilots ensuring the main pilot can do their job.
Perfect analogy. Think B vitamins first, especially B1, B2, and B3.
Why those specific ones?
They are absolutely critical cofactors in how our cells produce energy. Remember the brain being an energy hog?
Yeah, constantly hungry.
More B vitamins essentially means more available energy for your neurons to do their work, process info, make connections, learn.
Makes sense. More fuel in the tank. What about B12? That one gets mentioned a lot.
B12 definitely deserves its own spotlight. It's crucial for mood stability, for sustained focus over long periods, and for memory.
And protection, too.
Yes, it actively helps prevent neural damage. And the research is pretty clear. Low B12 levels significantly increase your future risk of dementia.
Wow, so getting enough B12 is non-negotiable for long-term brain health.
Absolutely. A cornerstone of any cognitive strategy.
Okay, what about amino acids?
Essential amino acids are the literal building blocks for all your neurotransmitters. Serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine.
The brain's chemical messengers.
Right. If your brain is constantly trying to make these messengers, but it doesn't have the raw materials, the amino acids available.
The whole system slows down or
Yeah.
stalls.
Exactly. Supplementing ensures you avoid that deficit. This directly impacts mood and cognition.
And it prevents that crash you sometimes get from synthetics.
That's a key benefit because you've ensured the supply chain for neurotransmitters is solid. The production is smooth and continuous, no fog, no crash.
And if someone knows, say, memory and attention are their weak spots, that's acetylcholine, right?
Primarily, yes.
Can you target that specifically?
You can, by supplementing with precursors like choline, or perhaps phosphatidylcholine.
Giving the brain the specific ingredients it needs for acetylcholine.
Precisely. It helps you synthesize more of it, leading to better memory retention, quicker recall, targeted support.
Okay, this is great. But now let's shift gears a bit. Away from pills and powders entirely. Let's talk about lifestyle. The things we do every day that have a powerful, lasting effect on brain plasticity. Stuff that changes the network permanently.
This is arguably the most powerful lever we have. And number one on the list, exercise.
Regrow movement.
Daily exercise. Doesn't have to be hours in the gym. Weight training, high-intensity interval training.
What does exercise actually do for the brain?
It stimulates the production of something called neurotrophins.
Neurotrophins.
Think of them as growth factors for the brain. They literally signal the brain to produce new neurons. Brain fertilizer, essentially.
So exercise isn't just good for the body. It's maybe the best natural way to trigger new brain cell growth.
It's probably the single most effective brain-building hack we know of.
Incredible. What else from lifestyle?
We absolutely need adequate omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA.
Fish oil, flax seeds.
Yep. They are essential structural components for neural networks and crucial for producing healthy myelin.
Back to the insulation. The nerve coating for speed.
Exactly. Omega-3s are the raw material needed to build and maintain that high-speed wiring.
Okay, exercise omega-3s. What about mental practices? Meditation.
The data on meditation is compelling. Regular practice, and we're talking maybe 20 minutes twice a day.
Consistent practice.
It's been shown to lead to fewer errors on tasks that require mental flexibility. It seems to make your thinking cleaner, sharper, more adaptable.
So these habits, exercise, nutrition, meditation, they're not just temporary boosts. They fundamentally reshape the brain over time.
That's the key takeaway. They move you beyond temporary enhancement to permanent structural improvement.
Okay, let's pull this all together. For you listening, if you're facing a really high-demand situation, big exam, project deadline, major launch.
Crunch time.
Yeah, crunch time. What's a practical action plan based on all this? Step 1.
Manage the fatigue and the mental drain. A good combo is acetyl L-carnitine.
Reduces brain fatigue directly.
Yes. Pair that with N-acetyl tyrosine.
What does that do?
It helps with motivation, mood, sustaining that mental effort when things get tough.
Okay, energy and motivation covered. Step 2. What about stress?
If anxiety is jamming up your thinking or recall, magnesium threonate is often recommended.
Why that specific type of magnesium?
It seems to cross the blood-brain barrier most effectively, with fewer digestive issues than other forms.
That helps with.
Improves sleep quality, which is vital for memory consolidation, and helps calm the system for better retention.
Sleep and calm. Crucial. Step 3. Strategy.
Use those quick stimulants, coffee, maybe maca sparingly.
Not relying on them constantly.
Right. Just for that final push in the last few days. And don't overdo it to the point of jitters.
Okay, and breaks.
Crucial. But make them active breaks. When you step away from the work, don't just scroll your phone.
Do what instead?
Short, intense bursts of exercise. 30, maybe 45 seconds of jumping jacks, push-ups, jump rope.
To flood the brain with those neurotrophins we talked about.
Exactly. Get that growth factor boost.
Yeah.
And stick with the meditation twice a day if possible.
Solid plan.
Ultimately, the big picture here, what you should really walk away with is this. The most profound, lasting change doesn't come from a synthetic quick fix.
Right.
It comes from smartly leveraging your brain's energy systems and enhancing its natural plasticity.
Through targeted nutrition.
And crucially, through lifestyle habits that actually guarantee permanent positive changes to your neural network.
Okay, let's unpack this final thought then. We just heard that exercise is arguably the single most powerful natural stimulant for creating new neurons, thanks to neurotrophins. So the question for you listening is, what specific kind of physical activity are you going to incorporate today or this week to actively accelerate your own learning and help solidify those new neural pathways? Thanks for diving deep with us.